Okay. Challenges that you probably will encounter as an actor is one of the things that he just mentioned, which is, I hate to use the word racism, of either being a cute guy or a cute girl to get a role, right? I had challenges based on the start of Nollywood not being able, it wasn't like my ideal form of filming or cinematography. In my head, I wanted it to be better. The challenges that I had was that cameras usually never get my right mood as I wanted. Like I remember I sit in front of the camera back then in Nollywood when we first started. And it was, when I watched myself and I realized that I really gave my heart, probably portraying whatever emotion I was giving at the time. Maybe I was feeling tears or crying or very down. But maybe the score, maybe the lighting, maybe the angle of the shots just didn't play it out well. And it just felt like all the effort that I put in to try and bring out that emotion was just useless. Because I couldn't see it after I watched it. Which is one of the reasons I hate watching myself, after filming. It was one of the major challenges I faced back then, which is one of the reasons why I decided to wear the directorial hat. So, very simple. Once they call you, you turn it down. Don't take it. So, it's very simple. Still, if you don't have the money, if you need the money, meaning you're going there for the money, you take the shit that comes with it. Yeah. So the truth about it is like, if you know you are not the spontaneous kind of actor who can get something, who will get flawed by seeing lights, camera, actions, big stars on set and everything, that's probably going to shake you. If you know that's going to shake you, then don't do it. It's either you don't do it or you go there, whatever comes with it, you take the shit. In filmmaking right now, there are so many drawback factors. The producer will explain to you. Drawback factors of them under constraints, budget, so many things. Maybe last minute calling actors because, prepping up was no time. They have a timeline to deliver, and so many things are drawback factors. So yes, it's definitely going to happen. Some set, you will go, they have ample time to rehearse. They have ample time to do so many things. But you can't find it across all boards. You can't expect that all movies, they will give you script ahead, go and read 1 month, prep up. No, not all. Some will be like on their toes and they're willing to go. So if you know you can't deal, meaning if you can't take the hit in the kitchen, stay out of the kitchen.
So I don't know if I can just contribute something. I'm not an actor, but so in my tribe there's a proverb that says the person who asks questions can get lost. So a lot of time when we get these calls, you get excited about the fact that you've been called for a job. And maybe it might be a big set, but might be disorganized. So you'll be called to do a role in a film. First question will be, is there anything I can read about the character? Can I know who I'm playing this character against? And this is with all level of humility. Because if I say, you're just a small character, just come and act. You can say, yeah, I understand that, but can I just know who I'm playing? Oh, it's against Mr. Ramsey. Oh, that would be lovely, but what's my character about? So those backstories help you. That's one. Then two, can I have like in 2 minutes with the director just to ask him what he expects? Because the reason why you're embarrassed is because what he expects from you is not what you delivered for him. So you can like 2 minutes conversation. Like, sir, I've been casted to play the jailer in the prison. But can I just ask you, what kind of jailer am I? Am I arrogant? Am I smart? Am I calm? Am I just something that can add to what? Or can I tell you what I'm interpreting so you can tell me if it works for you or not? So those kinds of things can help you know before time what goes on in the creative mind of the people that brought you there. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and I said this, put it on the platform of humility. Don't just go, they will kick you out. So you have to ask for time, especially when you're just a one-day player.
Yeah, sure.
Of the train. Have to put that in and let you know that. Right. Don't take.
I've mentioned it already earlier today. Did you guys hear his question? Huh? Okay, so please, when you guys speak, please kind of project, yeah? It almost seems like you're talking to yourself. You're talking to everyone here. Everybody's involved in this, okay? His question is very simple. He says, how did I maintain longevity in the industry till this time? What advice would I give to upcoming actors that want to rise to the same fame and want to keep it without losing touch of reality, delving into things that might destabilize them like drugs and things that might mess them up along the line, right? That's his question. For me, I say the way it is. It's still passion. I mentioned in my last, in the workshop that I just shared with you, I said, if you're driven by passion, you love what you do, you'll give it your all and all, and it will sustain you. So there is no particular formula to what sustains you in somewhere. Like I said, the acting world is not math. It's not 2 divided by 2 or 3 plus 3 makes 5. No, it's internal. So it's a creative innate thing that comes from within us, right? And it guides us too. It could derail us. You could get lost somewhere along the line, but you will definitely find your bearing if you want to, because it's all inside of you. So it's all about the love for what you do. And if you like it, sky's the limit. You get to where you want. But if you don't, you can easily damage yourself in the process. Most importantly, passion.
A musical. How do you manage a musical? To produce a musical? Oh, okay.
Oh, produce. That's big. Yeah.
Oh, so forgive me. I thought the first question was for you, though.
No, she was.
Give the tribute for.
No, she was trying to tell the guy that asked the question before that you now explained. I told the guy that he should leave it, he shouldn't do it. She's saying he can paraphrase. Yeah, you can paraphrase. That's what she's trying to explain to you.
Oh, nice.
That you can paraphrase whatever lines they give to you and try to put it in your own words to get it out quickly. That's if the director wants it that way, though.
Well, I didn't hear. I was a bit distracted. Well, however, I heard your question for me. And someone asked this same question a few minutes back. Where is she? You, yeah. So I think that, first off, were you here yesterday? Okay, so yesterday before I started my class, I had mentioned that we need to be aware that the technology behind film, like I like to use the word civilization behind film, was not crafted for African storytelling. The cameras are not in our favor, the sounds are not in our favor, the system, studio or location is not in our favor, the storytelling style is not in our favor. If you think about how we used to tell stories when we were younger, Coco, what do you guys say? Koi Koi, yeah, Nobody says Koi Koi, yeah in our films in America. So because you want to play to the tone, that's like football or handball or sports. The person who created the sport has given you the rules, so you can't come with your own rules. You have to follow their rules. Now, what we have failed to do is we have failed to reorganize these systems to suit our narrative. Instead, we're trying to force our culture into the existing system. I'll tell you what I'm trying to say. So you guys drive right-hand drive vehicles in Uganda, right? We drive left-hand drive. So I'm hoping if I go, I'm going to jump on the car and drive. I tried it once in Joburg and I almost killed a policeman. And now I can drive. I've been driving for more than a decade. I've been driving for a while. But I've been driving a different kind of car. So this car that I was given, I can drive it, but when I hit the road, I normally would drive on the right-hand side of the road, but you guys will drive on the left-hand side of the road. So that is messing around with my whole reasoning. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? That guy's about to hit me. Why am I saying this? I'm bringing my Nigerian driving skill to a Ugandan or a South African or a whatever driving scenario, and it's not working. So I look like I'm not driving. If there's a road safety person on the road, I will get arrested. True or false? So when you look at our stories, when we try to do musicals, why they have failed, except Sarafina, why they have failed is because we haven't tried to capture our music style. We haven't captured our dancing style. We haven't captured our art and culture in the film technology. Neither have we tried to create what can work. Because what is film? Film is capture a moment, an emotion, freeze it, and when required, release it to the person who is enjoying it. So if I capture you acting as a sad person, I capture the sadness, the grief. And when you press play in your sitting room, I pour the grief back to you, and you just realize that you are feeling the grief that the person is playing. The moment you're not able to feel that grief, you feel that there's a disconnect, this person can act. And like he said, he's acted before, but the director did not capture the emotion he displayed, and he felt disappointed. Now he knows what he delivered, but the person in the camera or the person directing did not capture the thing right. So if you want to do a musical, like I said to her, I believe big things come in small sizes. Any big dream you have that you cannot start small is a cost. So you want to do a musical, right? You want to do a Pitch Perfect. You want to do a Sound of Music. You want to do a big musical, Lion King. Start small. That's why you see our music videos, credit to our musicians. But our music videos, all they do is to distract us with big bombs and big balls and naked girls. Because they cannot still capture the essence of our music. So they need to give you distractions for the 4 minutes. So no clip, go and watch any music video. No clip in a music video stays more than 3 seconds. Before you realize what you're watching, they change to the next one. So you just get entertained and you breeze through. But a musical, I'm on this lady, she's sad, and I'm on the white shot of her or the tight shot of her. She needs to show me have you seen The Greatest Showman? Did you feel the emotions? That's what I'm talking about. So how do you capture this as a black cultured person, extra energetic? You need to start by practicing small. So you sing your village song to yourself in the house, put on your camera phone, capture it, test it, edit it, see, try again, develop it. Then expand to 10 minutes, to 20 minutes, and you can go for a musical film. But if you notice when we do musicals on stage, do they work? Because stage is loud and but film is calm, and so we're not able to transcend that thing to this place. I'm going to hand over to the master to say more, but I'm just telling you what I think. So if you want to manage a musical, don't just go to a studio and say, I can do a musical on the film and collect the money and make trash out of it. We've made some musicals in my country, I'm not proud to mention them. And we've made a couple in South Africa. We're not proud to mention anyone. They've all failed. And this is the reason we have not been able to capture our culture well through the film technology. So maybe you're the one that will solve the problem. So you can start small and grow it up. Don't say every big filmmaker was once. When I started film, I went to see a senior filmmaker in Nigeria called Jetamata. I went to interview him for a documentary for a company I was working for. I walked into his house then, like he was still like 2 streets. And I saw his films on his wall. He had done big films. And I was like, one day, I'm going to be like this guy. And so I was so excited. I went there for an hour. I stayed 6 hours. I left, my hair was standing. I was so excited. I saw this guy 10 years later. And he's like, I'm a fan of your job. I froze 3 years ago. Because how can Jetta be a fan of my job? Bruh, I literally started my work on your job. So don't think that because you're sitting down here listening to us, doesn't mean that you cannot be the greatest ever in Africa. Don't believe that lie. You can be and you will be. Yeah. But however, start small. Start small. Start with your phone. Start with the short film. Start and allow people criticize you and tell you the truth. Learn from the criticism and make sure your next outing is better than your last outing. Thank you.
Inspirational.
No, he has to say something though. Bro has to say something.
No, it's fine. I mean, you've said it all. You mentioned every... No, it's true. No, it's very true. He's touched everything that is required. Because she was asking about how to inculcate like sound, and he's giving you the background of how the film started and the ones that we have done, how terrible it is, and he's giving you advice on which way to go, which is the best advice. I couldn't tell you otherwise. Yeah, it's true you could take the bull by the horn, but come on. You don't want to go and start something of that magnitude on a bigger scale. You know, you start from somewhere. It's what I keep saying. Like, you want to make a movie right now, start with a 5-minute short film. Start with 10 minutes, 15, and then you get to the big feature.
Actor, and still do well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I wasn't a leading actor in Living in Bondage, or supporting, yes. I gave it my all in all, that's what I can say. How did I handle it? Yeah, I mean, you know the euphoria you feel when somebody applauds what you have done. They feel like you've done so well, and they applaud you, and they love you, and they show the love because you've done something well. It tells from the passion that you've given into the work. That means that you've done well, right? It's that same feeling that I get. It's like anybody else will. It's like out of the categories, you get picked for what you have done is a big thing. So I was blown away when it happened though. I was completely. The competition was quite steep. It was very steep. I don't know whether, I don't know, maybe I also got it based on favoritism, you know, like Ramsey Nouah, whether he's around, you give it to him, so the competition, I don't know. But I mean, I was still very happy that I got it.
He has directed it already. Maker.
Yeah.
Hey, one question at a time, bro. Let him answer that one first, then you call me.
Yes, we started work on another project called Tokumbo. Tokumbo is my middle name. It's used in Nigeria as importation of fairly used vehicles. It's a name from Yoruba. The literal meaning is via the sea, meaning came through the sea, meaning not born of the land, was born from a different land and came through the sea to our land. Hence my name, because my father is Lebanese. Do you understand? But my mother is Nigerian. So my grandmother gave me the name Tokumbo. That Tokumbo also meant for fairly used cars based on they came through the sea. So when we were going to film, we had this story that came on board, and the story was about cars, fairly used cars, you know, and an actor who smuggles the cars through the bordering country. So with that, we decided that we had a few titles. Well, but because I was directing it, so I imposed that I'll use my name, Tokumbo. Which of course is also the daily name amongst traders in Nigeria for bringing fairly used vehicle to the sea. That's what they call it, Tokumbo. A lot of people don't even understand that it's an actual Yoruba name. They think it's a product name. So we just wanted to create that and then have that little buzz and all. And we're very hopeful that it's going to be a good film too.
Let's call you. Rebecca, where are you?
He's been kidnapped.
Rebecca, where are you? Hi.
Okay. Your first question before the what was the first question again?
Women one.
Oh, the women empowerment. He's one of the forebearers of that actually. He makes sure that on his team, on our team, they're very predominant women. Like, women are producers, they're filmmakers, they're everything. And we support them with everything that we can because they're also very, very passion-driven. And they are very, very good at making things happen. Some men are a bit laid back, while some women are very, very good at making sure that what goes on. You get what I'm saying? So we empower them. We don't even need to empower them. They empower themselves by bringing the work. And we have gotten to that point where we need all hands on deck. So it's not as if we have too many choice or, like we have a potpourri of filmmakers, actors, and everything, so many that you can just pick from. The competition is pretty high. So it's all about your workforce. You get what I'm saying? So right now, if the competition is not high here, and you're just using a woman because you want to help or support her, whereas you know that the other guy is stronger than she is, then you're running your production down. What we do is whoever is stronger in that part of whatever is that we want, that we know has a pedigree of being very good at that stuff, we employ, we get. Be you a guy, be you a girl. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not, we don't bring in favoritism or partialism because she's a female. No. Everybody gets the same dose. So basically, even if you appeal for the women here, and the women are not strong enough at what they do, it's going to be hard to pull through. But if they're freaking good at what they do, and nobody gets to use them, then that's where the problem is. But we don't do that. We make sure that everyone is equal. We make sure that everybody gets their dough, their merit.
Dr. Bruce, but one thing I think, don't think that film is a different world from your world. Just like medicine or education, film is also a sector in your economy. And so whatever goes on in other sectors will happen in film. If your DP is telling your director to shut up because she's a woman, then the teacher will be telling the headmistress to shut up because she's a woman. So you can't fix it only in film. It has to be fixed as a society. That's true, yeah. So don't expect that film will be different. If that's how Uganda operates, that's how Uganda operates. And in Nigeria, it happens. Yeah. It's not a product of... So yes, we don't, but there are people who will tell the female director, even to Tope Oshin, it has happened to her. I don't want to explain, but it happens to these people. But again, when you know that it's like you're a black person in America or in the UK where there's racism. You can't say because there's racism, you will not do what you need to do. Yes, there's sexism in your business, but if you know you're good, you face the challenge, face it head on, let your work address that DP. Against fighting with him and arguing with him and make it look like you are. Let your work, let the DP know that, yes, you might be a man, I might be a woman, but I am better than you. See my work. So answer the DP with your work against looking for PT party, because you might never get that. Do you understand me? He has a question about Where is Emeka?
Emeka has been kidnapped. I'm joking. No, he hasn't. I think he just found a different endeavor. He just went into other things and he moved on. Some people are like that in the industry. They just move on to other things in life. And also, life happens. Some people are not as passionate. I'm passionate. I love my work. I love what I do. So that's why I'm still there. Some people find other better things to do and then they go. They leave it. Yeah. So that's the difference. Thank you. Who's next?
The lady with the microphone.
Hi. How are you? Lucky. Amazing. Okay. You want to take it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So first I would like to say that Ugandan film industry is young. Not because it just started yesterday, but because you started, you stopped, you started again. We need to understand that when you hear 30 years, 35 years, these things actually are real. Nollywood is 31 years. It's a lot of time. A lot of people are not up to 31 years. It takes time for things to rise. And the fact that you see things have risen does not mean there are not still things that are going wrong within the system. But maybe someone has decided to get used to the wrongs or have decided to raise their head above the storms. So even in our country, I do not think the government supports us, but let's even leave that by the side. Let's come to the actors. How do you stay relevant? While you are thinking about your business as an actor, the producer and the executive producer and the investors are thinking about how their money can stay safe. So yes, I care about you being an actor and having food to eat and building your own houses. But I have gone to a bank, or I've gone to my uncle, I've gone to someone to take money, let's assume 1 billion Ugandan shillings. If I use that money to hire you, and I make a film, what is the guarantee that you will make my film sell so that I can take back the 1 billion Ugandan shillings back to where I got it from and even put some interest on it? Are you giving me more value than performance?
Than Cabello.
You understand me? But again, it's two-sided. So why, I just need you to open your mind beyond as an actor. Because playing victim cannot develop the industry. What you should ask yourself is, how can I bring value beyond performance is important. But no matter how good you perform, if people don't come and see your performance, then it's not worth it financially to anybody. So as an actor, what do you do? So they would rather go to the influencers or to the musicians or to the comedians or to the socialites. So they can use those people to attract. If they find actors who have that value, they will certainly bring it. So what happens most times is that we stay on the creative, developing your art. You have just learned today. So you're doing all of that, making sure you're like Al Pacino, you're like Danny Day-Lewis, like Meryl Streep. But however, you need to also understand that if I see your face on a poster in the cinema or while I'm browsing the internet, can your face make me click on the video and go to watch it? If it cannot, what are you doing today to make sure in another 2, 3, 5 years, your face can make me click? Do you understand me? So, so yes, these other people need to do a little more. And this also applies to the South African domination. Positioning. Were you here yesterday? We talked about strategy. You need to learn how to position. I will tell you, Ronaldo and Messi are not the best footballers in the world.
Yeah.
They are not. They are the only ones that have been seen. They are the ones that have been seen. The best footballer might be in Kololo, kicking wood. But nobody has found him, so nobody knows about him.
So he's not the best.
What I'm saying, he might be able to do what Ronaldo cannot do. But nobody is seeing him. The best actor in Africa might not be Ramsey Nouah. It might be someone somewhere in Nyonyo. Is it Nyonyo?
Or here.
Or even here. But you need to strategically find how to position yourself. Positioning is not just having friends. It's knowing how to lobby, how to network, how to amplify the small that you have done, how to show the world your progression, so that they can, because the world only understands money. The world has no care, passion, or fear. What the world understands is profit and money. So you can stay as a victim and they will make you a victim forever, but you can also, even your country. I was sharing yesterday about Flavor. Flavor was singing in Nigeria, nobody cared. He was singing on the streets in beer parlors. He was super talented in Enugu. Nobody cared. His song became a hit in South Africa. That's how we realized that, Chinedu the single. We now want to bring him back to Nigeria. I'm telling you a real story. Go and check it on Google. So even actors like them, they were acting, nobody sent them. And even till now, it's still like this. When there's political period, they'll call the woman and say, vote Kiniko. The next year, they will abandon them because they really don't care. So leave the pity party, and while they're using you, also look for how to use them. So what I'm saying is, keep working. Let the government support not be your target. Let global recognition be your target. When you put your name on the world map, your president will call your number and ask you, what do you want? Amen. I hope I answered your two questions. Wahala.
The question is
Is this the eye conversation already?
He plants you.
Oh, somebody's already here. How do you, who's taking the microphones around?
They all sharing that mic around that place.
After him.
I know, he wants to ask. Go on, ask. Go ahead. How do we choose our content? We usually go to space to go and find the content.
So he
We go to the moon, we go to Mars, we go to...
How do you find your content?
Just kidding. Contents, let him answer that. Basically, contents are just... Let him just answer. He's a producer. He will explain better.
So I really wish we had more time in this masterclass. There's a slide. There's a slide called a good script. So the good script, what we tried to do there was to define the parameters to know the kind of story to make. Also, I don't know how people make films and don't consume films. You're not consuming films because you're trying to criticize other people's work. You need to see what's the audience. The story is not for you. If you were here yesterday, we said, Coco, yeah. I keep missing it. Koi, yeah. Meaning that you need to confirm you have an audience. So you're not making it for yourself. Whatever idea you have, a story, script, have you located who wants to see that story? We talked about how we do heavy drama. Telling me how my friend told me in my drama, people are always dying. And that's why it doesn't sell in the cinema. Because people just want to see love and laugh. For me, I will kill somebody. Even this one now, this Tokumbo, we have killed somebody again. So I don't know why I keep killing people. But however, they're telling me that is a problem for my market. Maybe that's why I'm not very rich yet. So what I'm saying is, there is no content that is accepted or not accepted. You have to do your own work as a producer. That question is a producer's question. You need to ask yourself, which market am I targeting? I'll give you another analysis. Think about Sarafina. Do you think any white, racist South African would have bought that film to watch? So it wasn't targeted at them. So you need to know who wants to watch. And if the people that are about to watch, if they have enough buying power to make you go and invest your money and your time in such a project. So against us saying comedy, or no, do drama, or do horror. No, you have to find your niche. You have to creatively think about all of that before you engage a writer and start developing a story. Do you understand? So there's no story that is accepted or not accepted. Because even comedy in Nigeria, at some point, started fading away. Because people felt there was a lazy way out. People are not trying to do more drama. Now the drama is saturated with us again.
Now we're doing horror films, horror.
We're about to go somewhere else. So what keeps you ahead of everybody is you doing this work. Go to the cinema, not even watch a film. Stay by the counter. Just ask questions there. What do they watch when they come? What do they prefer? Why don't they like this one? Go back home, calculate, meet with your team, do brainstorm sessions and what they call those things, peer group conversations. Then you can now develop what next you want to do. Do you understand me? Do you guys do M&E here? Do they send product people? Do they send people to your houses to ask you about your toothpaste or your soap? Do you like how your soap is? They're trying to get report to know how to make the next soap better. So it's called feedback. Because end of the day, our business is solely in the hands of the consumer. They determine what you should do, except you're making the film for yourself, which is not impossible. Did I answer your question?
Can you carry the phone?
Please take it, the microphone to this side.
Microphone this way.
No, this side.
Hey.
Oh, the last one on this side. These people they are politically biased.
You people here, listen to how Chris analyzed it, you would have probably found an answer to the question you asked. right? But just so I can buttress it, I see you're saying it from more of a pained perspective or like a victim perspective. Don't play the victim. You have to take the bull by the horn and do what you need to do to achieve your goal. It didn't happen by fluke in Nigeria either. It was work upon work. It was trial and error. Several fails. Consistency that got us to where we are. So if you're saying there are some very, very good filmmakers amongst you here who are getting easily deflated because they're not achieving their goals and they give up, well, if you give up, ain't nobody is going to encourage you. The only way is just you keep trying till you get it right. Make the comparisons. Let's start with the music industry, for instance. How did they make it? Nigerian, they were doing their songs before. Did they go global? No. But thank God for a social media platform. They now go global. Besides that, they tried everything. There's an influence of Kwaito beats, of Hollywood beats, and all of those beats with our beats. Fusion of everything to make the songs that they make. And that's the way they were able to find a global audience. So you need to think what you need to infuse into your jobs, not giving up, to get to that point where you are able to meet the taste palettes of your audience. That's all I can say. Thank you. Who's with the mic?
Oh.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Greetings, gentlemen.
Wonderful. Only you.
Just to you.
Wait. Are you marketing? Let me just get this straight. I know. I'm just messing with you. Go on. So. Chris.
Thank you, man of many parts, Isaac. Yes, we have seen stuff. You're a proud son of Uganda. You guys should always be proud of. His name is Lukman Ali. And Lukman Ali, in the past 2 years, has put Uganda in the African map, African film map, yes. To the point that, I wish he comes around, maybe he'll be at the award. To the point that we even made a film in Nigeria that he was brought into Nigeria to DP and direct. And it's one of the best movies we had last year. So please just get a for Lukman Ali. However, I don't think it's about Uganda. I think it's about Africa. Because as much as we try to make ourselves look very different, I think we're still the same. Like the way you feel about your president is the same way I feel about my president. The way you feel about I'm not joking, let's be honest. We have the same problem, eh? The new and the old. So it's Africa. We can't act like we are safe. These things get around. If Africa gets into trouble today, the migration and the immigrants will go to Kenya, go to Somalia, might end up in Nigeria. So it's going to affect everybody. So it's not about an Operation Save Uganda. I think it's an Operation Save Africa. Because Your country is big enough, but if you want to grow, you might want to think continentally. Because how beautiful would it be that I make a film in Nigeria, and the film can be watched from the tusk of Morocco to the soul of Pretoria, against me just selling it in Lagos and Sokoto and Abuja. And how would it feel amazing if you make a film also in Kampala, and that film is being watched in Borno in Nigeria and also watched in Tunisia? Then we can now work together. You know, I can't reach that door from where I'm sitting. But if I touch my sister's finger and she stretches, and touches the next person, before we do 10 people, we're going to get to the door. So why do I sit down and stretch myself and lose my spinal cord when I can find partnerships that can take me there faster and I won't be stressed? That's what this is about. So it's not about Uganda. So the first question is, yes, we've seen a few content that has showed us that there is something here. So there is in Zambia. So there is in South Africa. So there is in Kigali, in Rwanda. So there is in South Sudan. However, we have come to interact, feel the buzz, feel the pulse, and see how we can go forward. Are we interested in working with Uganda? Yes, we are interested. But like I said yesterday, you're not here. Were you here yesterday? I said yesterday that the greatest challenge of partnerships between countries is when one country feels like they've been deprived enough and the other country should bring their wealth and invest in them. It doesn't work that way. Because while you're thinking about film, there's also the context of economy, which you cannot just pack your Ugandan shillings and come to Nigeria and spray it there. You're going to demarket an already devalued shilling. So what happens is you partner, and in your partnership, you look for how both parties can enjoy the partnership. It's like a marriage. When you get married to your wife, you as a husband, there are things you like that you will keep, and the things you like you might lose. And her as a wife, there are things she likes that she will keep, there are things she likes that she might lose. Do you understand what I'm saying? If not, you're not going to stay married. After a year or two, you're going to get divorced. So somebody has to take a little sacrifice. So if there's going to be that, yes, we're interested. But the question now is Uganda ready and is Nigeria ready to have that kind of partnership and also lose some sacrifice in the process? But yes, there are conversations. And with people like Lukman and Humphrey and Matthew Wabiso, certainly there will be some partnerships in the coming future.
And during that partnership, we're going to look for South African models.
She said, no, we can do it here. Don't worry.
Just joking.
All right. Like I said before, there are parameters. It's not an answer I can give now. It's a full-blown lecture. Because there are like 30, 40 things you look at before you select the script. Because while you're looking for what to entertain people, there are more things that you need to explore. What's your purpose of making the film? Do you want to make money? So beyond entertaining people, how far can your film travel? What is the shelf life of your film? The films you put on TV are films that have short shelf lives. The films you put in the cinema are films that have long shelf lives. We're standing here today, we're talking to Mr. Ramsey about 76, living in Bondage, because those films have long shelf lives. But there are films he's done that we didn't even hear about because they didn't last beyond 2 weeks, because the producer did not see far enough. But that doesn't make the producer a bad producer. The person just wanted to turn over some quick money and move on. Yeah, he's just a useless producer. So it depends on who is asking. But there are parameters. There's also merchandising we spoke about yesterday. There's franchise. There's a lot of things. When we made Living in Bondage, we paid a man who made a film 30 years ago. We paid him millions of naira to get him to give us the rights to the film. So you can make a film today, and in 2070, if the war does not end there, somebody might want to come and purchase the rights of you.
Yeah.
So that's the bit why. But however, these things do exist. But you have to ask yourself a question, what kind of film do I want to make? And what makes the film? Yeah. As what? As a producer or as an actor? That's what I'm saying. So what makes so good? Good is relative. Good is relative. Like I said yesterday, I said, we're sitting down here now, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from the tropics, I'm sweating. Like I go around in Uganda, I don't see ACs everywhere. I'm wondering, how do people live without ACs? In Nigeria, every second we're in air condition. But you guys have a cooler weather, we have a scorching, we're on 40 degrees. So it's relative. So you said, how do you know if the script is good? The question is, why are you making the film? If you're making a film because you want to appeal to the international audience, I will use LGBTQ, for example. If you're trying to make a film and you want to appeal to outside Uganda, you can look at a script that has those kinds of things. We want to sell the film in Uganda, and you are putting LGBTQ inside. You will be arrested and you are done. So no matter how good that script is, it's a time bomb. Am I making sense? So the question cannot be answered because you need to know what exactly you're looking for. When Genevieve made Lionheart, she had a plan to take the film to the Oscars. However, the Oscars had a rule of language. The percentage of film, the language you should have in the film. The film did not meet it or something like that, I can't remember. If she had known, she would have imputed it in the script.
I was part of the judges that took it out.
Cut that part out, please.
I had bad belly.
What I'm saying is, you can't say good or bad. I even gave an example yesterday about how people get married. And they say, meet my beautiful wife. And you look at it and say, but you just behave yourself and don't say, hi, beautiful madam. Because to the man, the woman is beautiful, but to the other person, like, Oga, what did you marry?
It's in the eye of the beholder.
So it's going to be kind of tricky. However, when you pick up a script and the script engages you, it is easier for the director and the technical people to recreate it. It's easier to spoil a bad script, so a good script, than to fix a bad script. The script is bad, don't even bother. It's better to take a script that works for you. So when you're reading it, what does it do to you? Do you visualize it? Is it in sync with why you're making the film? If it flows with you, then it's a good script for you. There's nothing like a good script for everybody. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. Yes, but however, like I said, we're hoping to do, I don't know what today is, we're hoping to do a Zoom next week to answer more questions and also treat these good scripts project. But it has to be on Zoom because we're leaving next week. So please try and be part of that.
Next.
She's still asking a question. I'm struggling to hear you though.
What techniques do you use to identify a cast and story?
Oh, okay. So there are 4 things for, this is me as a person, and the system that we try to employ. We look at the person's physical attributes, the person's depth for performance, dexterity, the person's value, commercial value, and also the person's attitude to work. So you might fit the role physically and not be able to act. That might be a green, that might be a red light for me. You might fit the role, be able to act, but have terrible work ethics because now you're going to come when the DP is tired in the night and cannot capture what you're doing. You might come and spoil the entire energy in the room and people cannot work well. Then now you might be able to work well, look the part, and also act well, but you don't have any commercial value for me. If the film is meant to make some profit, I might have a second thought on it. But these 4 parameters I look at. Commercial, no, let me start. Dexterity, performance, depth, physical look, commercial value, and work ethics. This is matter to us. Thank you.
Next.
You are South Senate. Okay. Congrats. Oh, South Sudanese. Oh, wow.
Got you. Yeah. If faced with the privilege that you have that ample time enough, yeah, to rehearse, yes, why not? Things can be changed to work out. But some directors are very, straight on. Once they have the looks of what they want and they feel like you guys can perform and you guys don't have a synergy, they'll basically make sure that whatever they can capture, right, at that moment is okay for them. We've seen several people in Hollywood where the actors are not compatible. They're not even friends at all. They are loggerheads, they fight. But they still act, and when you watch it, you will not see that detail in the film at all. Because the director could find a common ground and a bearing. Now, the synergy between two actors, most times, is what an actor naturally should work upon. They should work upon it. You're not meant to have, as an actor, you're not meant to have likes and dislikes. No. If you're a star, you come on set and say, oh, I like this kind of food, understandable, yes. We'll dot on you. If you're a star and you have a huge influence on the marketing of the film, and you say you don't want this other actor, yes, you could still pull the same strings. Yes, you could. But professional ethics does not require an actor to have any bias over what is being given on set. Professionally. So you should find a bearing, even if you know that, okay, you're not in sync with the other actor, you guys just look for a way to force it or make it happen. By default. That's how it works. Thank you. Next.
You don't have the microphone, he has the microphone.
No, we need a microphone.
Because
we're recording it.
When it comes,
they'll send to you very soon, okay?
Hi everyone, my name is Rojas Naiwale, and I work with Next Media as a brand designer. And I've been a producer for several times. And my challenge is people. They say the actor, the presenter. So my question is, as a producer, how do you manage to deal with the actor who's letting down the cast? Who's leading up, letting down the production?
okay. So
Usually we fight.
So,
I just joking.
again, I'm going to refer you back to yesterday's class, and I think maybe South people have to make available that video for people to watch, because obviously everybody in Uganda is a producer. Well, first off is, let's stop isolating film from the real world. Let's assume you're about to start a business. You want to start a business of a tailoring business. You want to start making clothes. And you hear this guy, he's so good, but he's terrible, he lies a lot, and he doesn't deliver on time. Would you hire him? So when it comes to film, you don't apply that process, but think it's film. Film is still business. It's show business. So you look at it, I said to her earlier, 4 parameters. So the guy has commercial value, he can act, but he's got terrible work ethics. It's what they call work chemistry. And which is, someone said it about another actor letting another actor down. So this person is good, but not good with this person. It's going to be a problem. I have a friend who casted a divorced couple to play a couple in a film. And I'm like, are you mad? They are divorced. They are angry with each other. And you want them to play lovers in your film. So they're going to use your film to make up. Why would you want to do that? World War IV. So people like to deceive themselves. But if you know you're a producer, except a case where there's no other person, and when you have that kind of case, you give the person a...
It was one of the first questions that we answered in the beginning of this Q&A. My challenges of being an actor was basically what happened to me on set when they were taking shots of me, and he even also reiterated it in one of his, when he was speaking, when I found myself on set and I gave all my emotions out to the best of my capability, but it wasn't well captured, you know. It lacked everything that I put all my efforts to bring it out. I didn't see it, based on maybe sound, bad sound, composition of the camera, and the score, and all of that. And I thought to myself that it was what made me decide to go wearing directorial cap, that whenever I act, I'll make sure I get the best of my actors, and you know, to make sure I bring out the best out of them when they're performing. So you see the whole emotions, because it's very important to me. That's the only challenge. And yours will be the last. Let's go. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris, this is Ramsey. This is for you. You as an actor and now a director. First of all, my name is Junisa Chan.
I'm still an actor.
Yeah. Yeah, my name is Junisa Chan. I'm a director and a writer. So I've been analyzing the film, the one on Bondage, and I was trying to discover, like, what are your directing styles? What inspired you? I wanted to see whether I would be able to see, because as a director now, I want you to give us that young aspiring directors who are trying to come up, and I want you, what advice would you give us? Because we all have styles. I love action, yeah, and I don't direct just anything. I want to direct action films. I want action drama. There's action everywhere. Like him, Chris kills everywhere. You know the movie is killing. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to spot the people. And even in my writing styles, I do a lot of psychology. I'm a surgeon by profession, but that is a side. I mean, by training. But
You cut people by
I do
profession.
a lot of. I create a lot of monsters, and that's what I enjoy. I enjoy building characters that are unusual, that are monsters. You know, even the best one I always create in my own creative identity. I love doing that. So as a director, I have a certain style that I want to portray, and like you said, I'll start small and grow. But what advice would you give to someone like me who is looking towards a direction that probably doesn't exist in our industry here yet, but is determined to do something that defines their identity, that is authentically original to their creativity? Thank you.
All right. It's a nice one. She wants to know how to, just for the benefit of those of you behind there that didn't hear the question, she says she wants to know how best to direct her content, you know, and how I got to direct mine and what got me involved. First, I'm very happy that you know your genre. So you like action, but she likes action. So she likes creating monsters and all of those things. You already know your genre. That's a step in. A lot of directors don't. Right? Now, directing is a major class. Because directing is the arm of filmmaking that is the most difficult of it all. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It's either a make or a mar. Right? Why I say it's the most difficult is, like, as a director, you must have an idea of the broad spectrum of life. So in a film that you're about to make, and there are different kind of characters, you have to do research on all of them. In your film, maybe you have a chef as a character. In the film, you have a surgeon as a character. You you have a pilot, you have everything. You need to have an understanding what it's like. You need to now create a character Bible for each of those characters and find out what really happens. So it's a lot of work. Then you talk about palettes, the color palettes that you want to use. You talk about all those details. Then you want to talk about how the actors will perform the different characters that you have given them. It's a lot of work. When you want to go into action, action is like, for instance, I'll give you an idea what action is. So in a normal regular drama film sequence, if I'm doing a scene here in a drama with about 4 or 5 people, right? In a drama sequence, basically, by the end of the day, if I give you my shot list will probably encompasses maybe like 10 shots maximum. 10 different angles maximum. If it's an action sequence of the same 5 people, in the same 5 room, in the same single room, your shot list will be like 50. Because in action, you need as many shots as possible. Right? Now, with that said, you realize the amount of work it's probably going to take you. First, you know that you're going to train your actors. You drill them because you tell them, the kick, you kick there. Kick it again. Kick it for this shot. Kick it again. Over and over again, right? So you're going to burn them out. Then you think about the money involved. How much you'll put. Can you achieve those things before the end of the timeline to finish filming, right? So my opinion and my take to you, we've mentioned it earlier today. Start with 5 minutes action sequence. Short film. Go to 10, go to 15, go to 25 minutes. Start small. Look at it. The 5 minutes one. Oh, I missed the shot. I should have taken that shot. Do a 10 minutes one again. Put all those things together. Start on that small scale. It helps you grow. That's the way you can achieve what you want to achieve. The other details involved is kind of elaborate. I can't go into all the details of saying you want to shoot action sequence, but you have to learn who you're shooting it for. Are you trying to be like the Americans that did it, or you want to be Ugandan? And if you want to be Ugandan, you have to shoot the action sequence as in a scenario in Uganda. So don't go and replicate a scenario from Hollywood to shoot in Uganda. You go off. It will seem off. It will be very obvious that you saw that shot in other films, that's why you're using it. Right? So those are details. I don't want to go into all that one because it's a long thing when it comes to directing. But I hope I answered that question. Would it be you last? All right. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and my question is, you talked about how you were retired of being in a lot of work. And I, for one, am really tired of, not that I'm complaining, I'm really tired of
Yeah, it's fine. Really? Very unpatriotic.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. You see, he's a producer. I'm sure he can give you an insight to why there's always stereotypes. In the beginning of Hollywood, right, directors were very passionate about directing films out of love, out of the innate creativity in them, right? They weren't really concerned about wanting to make money back. Yeah? It was the passion to just do a good story back then in Hollywood. Today, filmmaking has become such a serious art. Like it's not like before. Back then, directors, filmmakers, actors, it was an easy, it was a, how do I call it? They made it seem like very playful. It was natural. They didn't make it seem too hard. Right now, actors have time limit. They're giving directors and producers, oh, I can only be on your set for just 1 week or 3 days or 5 days. Okay, we'll squeeze all your shoots here. We'll make sure we finish all your shoots. So everything has become, rather than, easy and, playfully going, to very businesslike. It's not the same anymore. So, for you now, there's always that stereotype for producers to see, oh yeah, because they know you're good at this, you already have a fan base. And that fan base is what producers tap into so that they can get people to watch it based on what your fan base is, so they can recoup their investment on the back end. Do you understand? Hence the stereotype. That's what producers do. When I decided I picked the cap at the heart of a director, I discovered all these things. When I was sitting back and I was just an actor, I didn't realize what it takes or what it took, to make films. I was also just like you. I always played the victim. I was like saying, why would they do this? What is stereotype? What the lover boy, the lover boy? They had to just make their money back. So I took the bull by the horn when I decided personally to make my movie, to change my own trajectory of being a lover boy, stereotype lover boy. I created a character for myself, and I played it as best as I could, and it worked for me. That was the only way I was able to break it. You might find a partner in her as a director. You understand what I'm saying? And you guys are just partners. Maybe you become an actor, she's a director, or a producer, and you come together and decide to make a movie, you create a story, you create your character, and you can do something out of it. But that I can talk to producers in Uganda right now and tell them, oh, stop stereotyping actors. It wouldn't even work in the country where I'm coming from. It will not even work in Nigeria where I'm coming from. It will not. Nobody will listen to me because they have to make back their investment. Do you understand? Yeah, so that's how it works. With that said, thank you guys. We're going to call it a day. 3:30. I hope we have something to go by. No. Guys, just sit down. Don't move. Don't breathe. Cameraman.
Pictures, photograph. No, it's here. I think it's here. They'll stand in front. All the class together. Or do you go outside? Do you go to graffiti? Do you go to graffiti outside? See a photographer.